Write the system of linear inequalities shown in the graph. So it looks like I have two lines going on here. I have this dashed line right here, which is in the orange, and it looks like it's shaded to the right. And it looks like I also have a solid purple line here, and it looks like it is being shaded above. But what does this mean to be able to write the system of linear inequalities? And what is it when you have two shading parts overlapping each other? My teaching assistant Chloe is here with her latest cheat sheet notes. First up, she wants you to know that when you are graphing inequalities, go ahead and graph all the inequalities and shade them on the same coordinate plane. Where all the shading overlaps, that is the solution. If you have any solid lines, those are included in the solution. If you have dashed lines, those are not included in the solution. Now that we have Chloe's cheat sheet notes, let's go ahead and look at each one of these lines. So the first one that I can see right here, I have a dashed line. So I'm going to look at this dashed line in this orange color. So I can see just by looking at this that it is shaded below. So if it helps you to draw arrows, draw the arrows. You can see here that I have that orange line and we shaded below. So I'm just going to draw those arrows just to remind me that we shaded below that line, just to help me understand what's going on in this graph. So because it is shading below, I can see that it crosses my y-axis, and I have a y-intercept at b equals 7. And I can see by looking at the graph, I have a slope of 3. And I can see that because here's my y-intercept of 7. And it looks like we also go through this point here, so that's up 1, 2, 3 to the right 1. 3 over 1 is the same as 3. And since I went ahead and I have a dash line, I know I'll have either a greater than or a less than sign. And because I actually shaded below it, it will be y less than. So I have y less than mx plus b, 3x plus 7. So there is one of my inequalities. Now let's look at the other one. The other one is drawn in this purple color, and I can see that it is a solid line. So since this one is solid, I'm going to go ahead and write solid. And I can see that on this one, it looks like I shaded above it or going up the y-axis. So since I shaded above, I'm going to go ahead and write shade above. I can see here that my y-intercept goes right here through -5. So I have a b equal to -5, and my slope is 1/4. That means I went up 1 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you just got to find 2 points and use the graph to do rise over run. So I have my slope of 1/4. Because it is a solid line, that can tell me that I'm going to have a greater than or equal to or less than or equal to inequality. And since I shaded above, it's going to be y greater than or equal to. And then I have mx plus b, 1/4 x minus 5. So now I have my system of linear inequalities. This is my final answer for this one. If it had asked me for the solution would be the part where they both overlap, the shading overlaps. Anything that falls within here, not including the dashed line, but including the solid line, and anything going on to infinity and beyond between those two lines and including this one, is a part of the solution.